Hi, this is CK at CK Education. Is it hard for you to apologize to your kids? I mean, it was hard for me. I am not good at apologizing, and I know that of myself. It's probably a pride and an ego thing. I've just never, and I never grew up like hearing, my dad apologize to me. I've never heard him ever say something like that. It just, I don't know, maybe it was a cultural thing, maybe in my family culture, whatever the thing is, it's just those words don't come easy to just say, I'm sorry. Now I could do this in front of the video like this, but in front of a real person, it's really hard for me to say that, admittedly. And I just, it always has been and it still is. Um, so it was a real challenge when my kids are like 10 and 13 right now, and of course sometimes I screw up, and I sometimes oh, man, I shouldn't have yelled, shouldn't have said that. And there are of course times when I look back and think maybe I shouldn't have said it like that, maybe I shouldn't have said it in that tone or whatever, and I feel very bad. And sometimes now I'm in my home office here, and I but when I used to have an office, out of home office, I used to go to the office and like think all night, like the whole time I'm just thinking I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have yelled at him. I felt so bad, and so sometimes I would call him and I would get him on the phone when I have a break, and I'll say, hey, you know what? Earlier today when I yelled at you, it wasn't even that bad. It wasn't really even your fault. I think that I went too far and I shouldn't have yelled. So I feel bad about it, and I'm sorry for yelling at you. And I've had to say that, more than once, several times. I don't want to say many times, but I've said those things to my kids, and it's something really hard for me to say. But I've learned because look, when parents make mistakes, and I'm not talking about big mistakes, it doesn't have to be something huge, but I'm just when we feel bad when we do things a certain way, we did it in a way that in our heads we didn't really intend it to be like that, and we know we hurt their feelings. And when that happens, even though it's hard, I forced myself to apologize. And I said, if I don't do this, here's another generation that goes by with the dad refusing to apologize or not being able to apologize to his sons, to his kids. And I didn't want to be that dad. I didn't want to, I wanted that to end with, my generation, where I never heard, an apology, for example, from my dad, but that's okay. I'm not hung up on that or anything. But with my kids, I didn't want to do that. When it was due, when it was, right to do that, I have apologized. I continue to apologize, even though it's extremely difficult for me to do. But the look on their faces, and the kids are wonderful because they're so forgiving, they're so loving. Sometimes we think we love them, and sometimes when you look at the kids and like, a lot of times as parents, don't we feel like, man, we just screw up a lot, but the kids just keep loving us. The kids they have this unconditional love, and nobody even taught them. It's just they keep loving you. They love their mom and dad so much, and just so sometimes I just see it from that side, and I just think, man, I think I love them, how much they love me. But so because of that love, because they're so precious, I decided in my life, you know what? As hard as it is for me, as hard as it is for me, I'm going to apologize, and I have been apologizing, and I have apologized on several occasions, and I would encourage you to do the same, because you know what? It just refreshes your kids' souls, man. When you apologize, especially dads, moms are a lot better at this, I think, than dads are, man. But dads, I understand. Trust me, I understand. It's really hard, but you just force yourself. You just force yourself to do it. Hey, son, when I said that, I shouldn't have yelled at you, so I'm sorry. I apologize for that. And he might just stare at you, but you just say, but he heard it. It got in, and then you can quickly change the subject if you want, But I usually, if I'm at home with them, I tell them that I'll apologize. I tell them I love them, and I'll hug them and I'll show them affection. Now, some dads, it's hard for you to even say "I love you" to your kids. For me, that's not hard. The hard thing was apologizing, man. But I just wanted to focus on that point because there are things that are hard for some parents to do, really hard, because you just didn't grow up that way. You never said that. It was never said to you. All I'm saying is it was never said to me either. But there are some things that we can still do, even though we didn't get it. Even though we didn't get it, we know it's the right thing. We know it's such a good thing, so we just do it. And if we do it, man, I feel good, my kids feel good, and now you have a breakthrough that you've never had before in this generation. Like it breaks that, that generational cycle, and you can do it to your kids and open up a whole new mode of communication, and it just feels wonderful. So I encourage you to do it. I know it's hard. I know it seems impossible to some of you, but I did it. You can do it. Let's do it together. And then it'll be just so much better for your kids, for your family. So I hope you take encouragement in that. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. And there are links here, and you can click there and watch other videos like this on my channel. Thanks so much, and until my next video, I hope you stay well.